This video is from a trip to Denmark and Sweden with commentary about a trip to Finland.
Copenhagen. Time for a little run.
There is a loose connection. Nine years ago, I traveled to Finland for a long weekend. I spent most of the time in Helsinki with one excursion out of town for a hike in the woods.
It's kind of weird. So far I haven't seen any people in this city. It's not that early.
While in Helsinki, I visited some museums, the 1952 Olympic Stadium, an excellent bakery on the waterfront, and I walked around a lot just to look at things. I was traveling alone, and after a few days of not speaking to anyone, I started talking to myself. The behavior seemed strange at first, walking alone in the middle of the night down quiet, well-lit streets and discussing ideas, but I ended up with some conclusion or theory about personal expression.
It's still really cold in Denmark. The last day of March, but it's so cold.
The idea was that there is a basic human need for expression, to create something outside of oneself as a way of personal reflection. Thoughts are fleeting, but words linger, and when I say something out loud, it's different than thinking it. Maybe hearing words, even if they are your own words, uses a different part of the brain than thinking words, and you're able to process those vocalized thoughts differently. I could make a verbal statement, and those words would hang around, separate and more permanent than the rush of thoughts that would then flow around and through the words. If we create something, a verbal utterance or a piece of art or a calculation, we use more senses to experience it than if it were just a thought. These are the same senses we use to experience the rest of the world, so that puts self-reflection in the same comparative frame we use with everything else we see. By experiencing something we create, we view ourselves with the same lens we use on the rest of the world. We also see some part of ourselves in the rest of the world from a different perspective.
Botanical gardens are a little bit less interesting in the winter, but there are some flowers.
So I walked around Helsinki, cinnamon roll in one hand, map in the other, talking and thinking about this topic. Maybe it's a way of understanding why some people, or all people, need to create, to see something of themselves in the world in order to feel complete. Not to get too philosophical, but if you say, I think, therefore I am, you are. Maybe the next step is, I create, therefore I am, a part of the shared experience, or something more elegant.
Very cold in Malmo. There's the bridge to Denmark. Great day for a walk on the beach.
Fast forward 9 years, and again on Easter weekend I'm alone for days without significant human interaction in another northern European country. A Danish in one hand and Google Maps in the other, similar thoughts in mind.
I'm inside a submarine.
I thought it was an interesting observation and one I'd like to look back on in 50 years, so I'll preserve it here on the internet. Also, I guess most people I know will never have the opportunity to be in a country where you don't know anyone or have any obligations. You can be truly alone and anonymous for days. So now you know what that's like. A lot of thinking time. I like it.
Got my falafel couscous spinach salad. Just been walking around the city.